Ladies and gentlemen, there is something greater waiting for you, something beyond what your senses can comprehend. What is coming will surprise you, not because it was never meant for you, but because you have not yet fully realized the power that works within you. Imagination precedes reality. Everything that is coming into your life is a direct reflection of the thoughts you have consistently entertained. Nothing appears in your world by accident. Everything is first conceived in the unseen realm of consciousness before it materializes. Most people believe that life happens to them, but the truth is, life happens through them. You are always shaping your future by what you assume to be true. Whether you realize it or not, the power that governs all things is working within you, responding to the state of your inner world. If you desire a change, it must begin with the way you think and feel. What you persistently dwell upon becomes the foundation of what is to come. God's plan works through you. It is not something separate, distant, or mysterious. It is unfolding through the beliefs you hold, the assumptions you accept, and the emotions you allow to dominate your mind. Many look to the heavens and ask for a miracle, never realizing that the answer has already been planted within them. You are not waiting for an external force to intervene. Rather, you are awakening to the realization that the divine plan has always been within your reach. Every thought of lack, limitation, or doubt is a barrier to the abundance that is rightfully yours. The moment you shift your awareness and align yourself with the truth that all things are possible, doors will open, paths will clear, and what seemed impossible will become inevitable. The unseen becomes seen in ways you cannot yet understand. Just because you do not see movement does not mean nothing is happening. The future is already forming beyond your physical senses, shaping itself according to the energy you are emitting. You may feel that you are waiting, but in reality, life is waiting for you. The moment you believe, the moment you accept that the unseen is already yours, the material world begins to catch up. The biggest mistake people make is thinking that what they want is far away, when in truth it is already present, just beyond their current level of awareness. That is why miracles seem to happen suddenly. They are not sudden at all, but rather the result of an internal shift that finally allows them to appear. Expectation determines outcome. What you prepare for internally determines what unfolds externally. Every person who has achieved something great has first lived it in their mind. They have seen it, felt it, and walked in the reality of it before it appeared. This is not wishful thinking. It is the natural law of creation. You are always setting the course of your future by what you expect, whether you do so consciously or unconsciously. Many unknowingly prepare for disappointment, for failure, for struggle, and then wonder why these things come to pass. But those who expect the extraordinary will receive it. When you believe that something greater is coming, when you live in the assumption that your desires are already fulfilled, life has no choice but to conform. What is coming will shock you, not because it was never meant for you, but because you finally stepped into alignment with what was already yours. The blessings, the opportunities, the breakthroughs, they are not distant possibilities. They are present realities waiting for you to claim them. God's plan is bigger than your current understanding, bigger than your past experiences, bigger than anything you have dared to imagine. You do not need to know every step ahead. You only need to trust that the unseen forces are already at work. Your role is to believe, to feel, and to persist in the certainty that what you seek is already seeking you, and when it arrives, you will realize that it was never about the external world changing. It was always about you awakening to the truth of who you really are. Imagination precedes reality. Everything you experience in your life first begins in the unseen world of thought and assumption. Nothing happens randomly. Everything that appears before you was once an idea, a belief, or an expectation within your consciousness. The world outside of you is only a reflection of what you consistently accept as true on the inside. Most people live under the illusion that their circumstances are separate from their thoughts. But the truth is that every condition, every event, and every experience is shaped by what has been accepted in the mind. You may believe that things happen to you, but in reality, everything is unfolding through you. The power that creates and sustains all things is not external. It is working within you at all times. Whether you realize it or not, You are always forming the conditions of your future by the thoughts and feelings you allow to dominate your mind. Your imagination is not a passive tool. It is the blueprint of creation. Everything that is coming into your life has already been shaped by what you have persistently thought, felt, and assumed to be true. If you want to know what is coming, look at what you have been dwelling upon. Your dominant thoughts are planting seeds that will eventually grow into reality. There is no mystery in this. It is a law as certain as gravity. The great mistake many make is believing that their thoughts have no power unless they are acted upon physically. But thought itself is action. It is the first movement of creation. When you constantly focus on lack, struggle, and fear, you are preparing for those things to manifest. When you focus on abundance, peace, and fulfillment, you are preparing for those things to manifest. The question is not whether or not you are creating. The question is, are you consciously creating what you desire, or are you allowing old patterns and fears to shape your future for you? What is coming into your life is not determined by luck, fate, or outside circumstances. It is determined by what you accept as real within yourself. Your assumptions shape your experiences, and what you assume to be true, whether good or bad, will inevitably harden into fact. When you begin to see yourself as the creator of your experience rather than a victim of circumstance, everything changes. No longer will you wait for something outside of you to change before you feel happy, secure, or successful. Instead, you will recognize that by changing your inner world, the outer world has no choice but to follow. God's plan works through you, not outside of you. Many believe that divine intervention comes from some external force that acts upon their lives. But the truth is much greater than that. You are not separate from the divine. You are an extension of it. The same power that created the universe is the power working within you. It is not something distant or unreachable. It is within your thoughts, your emotions, and your imagination. What you call God's plan is not something happening outside of you. It is happening through your consciousness. Every desire you hold, every dream you carry, has been placed within you for a reason. These are not random wishes. They are glimpses of what is possible if you align yourself with the truth that all things are already available to you. The only thing standing between you and the fulfillment of those desires is your own belief in limitation. Most people wait for a sign, for a miracle, or for permission to step into the life they truly want. But the moment you realize that the divine plan is already unfolding within you, you stop waiting and start believing. You begin to see that everything you need is already within your reach. The only requirement is that you accept it as real before it appears. When you align yourself with faith instead of doubt, with confidence instead of hesitation, life begins to move in ways you never imagined. The unseen is more real than what is seen. And when you understand that you are the channel through which God's plan unfolds, you stop questioning whether your desires will come to pass. You know they must. It is not a matter of if, but when. The moment you step into the feeling of already having what you seek, the universe begins to rearrange itself to match your new state of being. You do not have to force things to happen. You only need to accept that they are already done. The divine power within you knows the way, and as you align with it, doors will open, opportunities will arise, and what once seemed impossible will become inevitable. You are not here to struggle, to beg, or to hope for a better future. You are here to realize that the future is already shaped by what you believe right now. Accept this truth and watch as your world transforms before your eyes. The unseen becomes seen in ways beyond your understanding. Just because you do not see immediate movement does not mean nothing is happening. The world you perceive with your senses is only a fraction of reality. The greater part of creation is taking place in the unseen, in the realm beyond what your physical eyes can detect. Everything that is to come already exists in a state of potential, waiting for the right conditions to be brought into form. Your life is not controlled by chance or fate. It is shaped by the assumptions and beliefs you hold within yourself. Most people become discouraged when they do not see immediate results. They assume that nothing is working, that their prayers or desires have gone unanswered, and that they must struggle to force things into being. But this is an illusion. The moment you plant a seed in the soil, you do not expect to see a tree the next day. You understand that there is a process, that growth is taking place beneath the surface, long before anything is visible. The same is true for your desires. The instant you accept something as real within yourself, the process begins. The unseen forces of creation start working on your behalf, arranging people, circumstances, and events in ways you could never orchestrate on your own. Your physical senses are limited. They show you only what has already materialized, but they cannot yet reveal what is forming. Just because you do not see evidence with your eyes does not mean it is not there. Imagine standing before an empty field. To the untrained eye, it may seem as though nothing is happening, but beneath the surface, a seed that was planted days ago has already begun to take root. If you had the ability to see beyond the soil, you would recognize that the process is well underway. This is how your life works. Every thought you dwell upon, every belief you accept, is a seed planted in the unseen. It is growing, forming, preparing to break through into your visible world. But just like the seed in the soil, it follows a natural process. Some things will appear quickly, while others require more time to unfold. The key is to trust the process. Those who give up before the plant breaks through the ground are like the ones who dig up their seeds in frustration, never allowing them to take full form. Faith is knowing that the unseen is already real. It is walking with certainty even when there is no physical evidence. It is holding on to the truth that what you desire is already making its way into your life, even when the world tells you otherwise. Most people live by sight. They believe in what they can see, hear, and touch. But true power comes from living by inner knowing, by trusting that what is unseen is just as real, if not more real, than what is visible. You must train yourself to look beyond appearances. When difficulties arise, do not assume that things are working against you. Sometimes what appears to be a delay is actually a preparation. Sometimes what seems like a setback is the very thing positioning you for something greater. The forces at work in the unseen know far more than your logical mind can comprehend. Your job is not to control every step, but to remain firm in your conviction that what you have accepted as true will manifest. Everything you have ever received in life began as something unseen. Your greatest successes, your happiest moments, your most profound experiences, all of them existed in potential before they appeared in form. The same is true for what is coming. It may not yet be visible, but it is already real. It is already prepared. The only thing that determines when it will appear is your level of belief. The moment you stop doubting, the moment you stop questioning whether or not it will happen, is the moment you allow it to come forth. You do not need to force anything into existence. You need only to remain steadfast in the assumption that it is already done. If you persist in this belief, if you continue to align your thoughts and feelings with the reality you desire, the unseen will become seen in ways you never expected. Life will surprise you, not because it is giving you something new, but because it is revealing what was already yours all along. Expectation determines outcome. What you prepare for in your mind is what unfolds in your reality. Whether you realize it or not, you are always in a state of expectation, either expecting success or failure, abundance or lack, joy or disappointment. Life does not give you what you simply wish for, it gives you what you are truly prepared to receive. The way you think, feel, and anticipate your future creates the conditions that bring it into form. Most people unknowingly prepare for things they do not want. They expect difficulties, setbacks, and struggles, and then wonder why these things continue to appear. They assume things will go wrong, and so life reflects that assumption back to them. Your thoughts are never idle. They are creative forces shaping what is to come. If you expect hardship, you unknowingly make room for it. If you expect things to work out in your favor, the universe aligns circumstances to match that belief. Expectation is more than just positive thinking. It is a deep inner knowing. It is walking with the certainty that what you desire is not just possible, but inevitable. Those who expect abundance do not merely hope for it, they live in the feeling of already having it. They make decisions, take actions, and hold attitudes that reflect the reality they have accepted as true. Expectation shapes perception, and perception shapes experience. When you expect good things, you begin to notice opportunities that others overlook. You take steps that align with the reality you believe in, and as a result, you bring that reality into being. There is no separation between what you expect and what you experience. The mind is always creating, always attracting, always shaping. If you desire change, the first step is to change your expectations. Ask yourself, what am I truly preparing for? What do I secretly believe will happen? Your deepest assumptions about life are always revealing themselves in your external world. If you find yourself repeatedly experiencing disappointment, it is a sign that you have been unknowingly expecting it. If you constantly encounter obstacles, it is because at some level you have assumed that struggle is part of your journey. But the moment you shift your expectation, everything begins to change. Your mind is like a magnet, drawing toward you the circumstances that align with your dominant beliefs. Those who achieve great things are not lucky. They are prepared. They have trained themselves to expect the best, even when their current circumstances suggest otherwise. They do not let temporary appearances dictate their inner world. Instead, they hold firm to the reality they know is coming, and because they do, life must conform. The universe responds to certainty. When you are certain that something is yours, it moves toward you. When you waver, hesitate, or allow doubt to creep in, you delay its arrival. This is why some people seem to receive effortlessly while others struggle. One group expects, the other questions. The person who truly expects something does not wait anxiously, wondering if it will come. They know it is already done. They move through life with the confidence of one who has already received. You do not need to see proof before you believe. In fact, it is your belief that creates the proof. The future is not something that happens to you, it is something that is shaped by you. You are always preparing for what is to come, whether consciously or unconsciously. The question is, are you preparing for what you want, or are you preparing for what you fear? The choice is always yours. When you align yourself with the expectation of success, abundance, and fulfillment, life responds in kind. What is coming will shock you, not because it was never meant for you, but because you finally prepared yourself to receive it. Everything that is coming into your life is not the result of chance or fate. It is the direct reflection of your inner world. Your imagination, your beliefs, and your expectations are shaping your future at this very moment. The unseen is always working, arranging circumstances beyond your awareness, bringing forth into reality what you have already accepted as true within yourself. God's plan is not something outside of you, it is something unfolding through you. The moment you align with the truth that all things are possible, the doors that once seemed closed will open, and what once felt distant will become your reality. You do not need to struggle or force things to happen. Your only task is to believe, to assume, and to persist in the certainty that what you seek is already seeking you. What is coming will shock you, not because it was never meant for you, but because you have finally prepared yourself to receive it. The life you desire is not something you must chase, it is something you must claim. As you elevate your expectations, as you shift your beliefs, as you fully embrace the power within you, the unseen will become seen, and you will stand in awe of how effortlessly life unfolds in your favor.